We empower, we strengthen, and we advanced our knowledge and information. Greetings to everyone. You are talking to Ramasene. On this specific video, I am going to do a general analysis of the said information that General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi gave in regard to his 6th of July 2025 meeting or statement, which led to the formation of Madlanga Commission and ad hoc committee. Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has given all his testimony, and the ad hoc committee has closed its interviewing processes. Now, what I'm going to do is, the biggest issue was about Senzo Mchunu, and I'm going to give you what information that at the end Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has given, and then out of that, we're only going to talk about the information on the table in regard to the two matters: the issue of the kidnapped man called Mhlojwa, and the matter of the EFF leader, Julius Malema, who is termed to have attacked Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi because he made a speech and then criticized Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi or attacked Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi in whatever way some people have to see it. But those are the three matters, so that people can be able to see that is there all the information on the table in regard to what Julius Malema did, and then was it reasonable or not based on the information on the table. So the first important issue is Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has given a testimony in regard to what at that time it was a strong feeling and position and belief that Senzo Mchunu have a corrupt relationship with people that are involved in criminality and things like that. And if we can remember, he basically stated his information in relation to the WhatsApp that he had with Brown Mokgotsi. Those WhatsApp that he had been using in connection to Brown Mokgotsi, General Khumalo came and testified, and even in ad hoc committee, and then he scratched or chased away all the information in regard to Brown Mokgotsi. Actually, General Khumalo said anything about Brown Mokgotsi must not be listened to. As a result, all the information under which Senzo Mchunu was mentioned in alliance to Brown Mokgotsi, who was his comrade in ANC, that could have been possibly the link between Senzo Mchunu and maybe Ket Matlala and the others. When you throw away the WhatsApp information from Brown Mokgotsi, it means there's no any other link assistant, and even at Madlanga Commission, even regard to Nkosi, that relates the man we call Senzo Mchunu to anything. As a result, as we speak, that's why Mchunu is so confident of going around and doing the prayer sessions, is because at ad hoc committee, and Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi said Senzo Mchunu can only be seen as an enabler, unaware. In other words, Mchunu can be seen as a person that been used unaware by corrupt people, or he has been ill-advised, which means as he stands, ANC or the government or the president can take steps against Senzo Mchunu as an incompetent person, not as a corrupt person. In other words, he can be removed from being a police and then be given any other major position, because there's no assistant, any corrupt relationship that align him in anything. And then Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi have said it for the record that he can be either an enabler or a person that is ill-advised, because some of the people are used by other people unaware. He did say that, and then he never said Senzo Mchunu had a corrupt or criminal activity relationship with the others. That is what is important, and which is number one. And we would like to hear if the people have any other view than that. Now, the other thing is that General Mkhwanazi mentioned General Khan in both Madlanga and ad hoc committee because he had to explain how did it come that General Khan was cleared about the 200 million drugs that General Khan was accused of trying to misplace in support of the criminals. And then Mhlanhla Mkhwanazi did not find General Khan guilty of that. And then and then as a result, General Khan was cleared. There is nothing else that Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi said about General Khan at that time. The only thing that you can say that he mentioned was that General Khan was at the EFF event. In the first meeting, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi at Madlanga and ad hoc, he did say he attended the EFF event. And then he did not mention at that time that General Khan is a very rich policeman in South Africa. As he said now at the end of the investigation, he did not say General Khan at that time is very, very close to the EFF, as he said now. He said now he's very, very close to the EFF. And at that time, he did not say General Khan is a very person that must be dealt with, like must be investigated, possibly a very policeman that is possibly involved in not good activities, in running short of the words. Now, how will General Khan be further investigated or dealt with the ad hoc committee when the ad committee is closing down and General Mkhwanazi himself is the person that was supposed to have raised a bigger alarm to say, take steps or investigate General Khan because he's the main person that must identify the people that are involved. Number 3, he did not mention that he had a meeting with Cat Matlala until Cat Matlala said so. And then Mlotshwa did say Cat Matlala, he said it at Mampuru because Cat Matlala said Mkhwanazi had to meet him because, among others, Cat Matlala, had to help Mkhwanazi to force Mlotshwa to drop the court case that Mlotshwa have against General Mkhwanazi, of which General Mkhwanazi deny and give his version into why he met Cat Matlala and why he didn't tell us about Cat Matlala. I am noting the matters on the table that took center stage. In the case of Mlotshwa, the police, as per evidence, I will only mention not the oral evidence. I'll mention the first-hand information. In the case of Mlotshwa, the police did not have a search warrant. That's number 1. Number 2, the police took and buy with their own cash the CCTV footage from the Indian shopkeeper, and they did not take that into the SAPS 13, which is the information that must be kept as they are received from the crime incident. That footage cannot be seen anywhere in order to be able to see what were the police doing on a specific house. Mlotshwa have opened and Nangi have opened the case against General Mkhwanazi. Now, as a result, that's why Mlotshwa said General Mkhwanazi had to force him to drop the case. And at ad hoc, General Mkhwanazi said there is a DNA test, but their house burned. Now the question that comes is, when did the police took the DNA sample from a burnt house? And the last important and burning issue was Fadil Adams opened the cases twice on the classified information. Remember, we don't want classified information in South Africa. But SCR-17 has classified information in order for us not to see what is it about the possible judges that were bribed. The information in the classified information that Fadil Adams bring, among others, includes, as you can go and choose at the News 24 article, a possible misuse of the funds by General Khumalo on the PKTT funds, and the News 24 count that to about 3 million, etc. So that classified information contains that. But the only question that I'm going to ask is, why do we still have to support classified information? Are we not having factions within the police whereby, among others, there is evidence of the police that are saying General Khumalo is defending the police under his under him by not allowing a man that was involved in taking life of Sindiso Makatla to confess about the people that were involved as the police in handing over criminals, the army, and transporting the police. Is General Khumalo maybe protected by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi? Is General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi being fair to everyone, or is he selective? Are there functions within the police, another group and another group? I have given only the analysis and I have not given my position. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video.